Hello, everybody. Welcome to It All Goes Back to Sonic. It is me, your host, MegaFire, and with me are Bob Hood, Dorko for you, and Harvek. And today, we have probably one of my favorite batches since we started the comic. I was so giddy for this. I'm so excited. More coming up. Fellas, how we doing today?
I'm building a cold right now.
Oh no.
So if you hear me just suddenly starting to go like that, it's either the comic I hate or I'm getting a cold. You won't know.
All right, to give you guys context, we read Sonic the Hedgehog number 59 and 60, and then went to read the Sonic Super Special number 5, Sonic Kids, and then Knuckles the Echidna 13 through 15. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna give you a quick. I just want to hear people's impressions. What are our thoughts today? I'd like to start with you, Harvek. What are your thoughts on this batch?
I'll explain later.
Okay, that's good. That's either a good sign or a bad sign. Bob, what about you?
I think I liked it more than the last one. Anything?
All right, Dorko.
I'll say better than expected, like a surprisingly really fun session, and then the ending is for this session is really something.
Okay, great. I'm really excited. I thought my takes are gonna be dog shit, but I'm feeling like I might have I might have a warmer reception to my shitty takes than I thought. Okay, yes, I love the story in. In one of these comics. I liked the story a lot. That's it. I'll explain later. So let's start with Sonic the Hedgehog number 59. The return of MG's favorite characters. Bob, go ahead and give us the breakdown.
Sonic and Tails get sucked into the funny zone. Horizontal inverted comic, they're much away to return, but they appear to have turned into robots. It turns out when Robotnik shot the Annihilator, their dimension reverted to a primal state. Then the brothers reincarnated as robotic demigod enemies fighting for control over the zone. So when Sonic and Tails show up, these two turn them into enemies on opposing fronts, and they begin to fight each other. They suddenly remember that they are friends, and they take off their armor. Sonic and Tails try to convince the two to put aside the war and be friends like old times. But comedically, it doesn't work out, so they just leave. The end.
Yep, that was the story, all right. Oh wait, you forgot the back half story.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I should do that one.
Go for it.
So Sally and friends go parachuting. The gang takes a minute to find one another so they can get dinner, but everything works out. Later that night, King Acorn sees that Sally has returned home and decides he wants to have a talk with Sally, who has been avoiding him a lot lately. That's about it. This subplot doesn't really pick up until next issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's my alternative summary. The summary is nothing fucking happens.
That's an excellent summary. That is, in fact, in line with what I was going to say, except for the fact that Cal and Al are back. And we get a net zero from their encounter with Sonic and Tails. We really... Okay, just to give context, Mike Gallagher wrote this. So he brought his boys back. And the art was it Art Mawini did the sketches. So good art, solid art. We had... nice, fun, classic Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Cal and L, I'm gonna link these two pictures in tandem because I think they're quite something. All right, these designs are something indeed. I don't know, something about Sonic and his giant head is so funny to me. There was a lot of nothing that happened. I don't really have anything to say about this particular issue.
Look, I've been doing the running joke in the podcast of asking where Cal and Al are, you know?
And they're finally here for you.
No, they're not. They're fucking robots. I didn't expect to get the fucking new 52 Cal and Al to show up.
The Sonic comic is just trying to keep up with the Marvel and the DC comics. That's it.
Are they gonna bone Starfire too? What's going on?
Maybe. We don't know. That has not been. I cannot confirm or deny.
That's a new 52 joke for everyone at home.
I don't know what that is.
You're better that way.
You're better off.
Sonic's the tech. Okay, I will say the dialogue in this is pretty good, especially from Sonic and Tails, who are like thralls of horizontal and vertical. I always forgot to pronounce their names. Just like Sonic just popping out with his sword, being like, "Prepare to be permanently horizontal in your casket." That is such a cheese line.
There's something about this with like the lines and the artwork that, like, this is, even though it's like a nothing story, still it's more entertaining than the debut story of these two characters.
It is entertaining, but it's like, I will say, them just casually shaking off the whole "let's be friends" thing at the end did get a chuckle out of me.
Yeah, the ending was actually good. This was not a bad issue. It was just silly.
I just think how, like, it's really funny how quickly Sonic is just like, okay, let's just leave. I don't care anymore.
I would too. You know?
He literally says "good riddance." He's like, Tails is like, "Oh no, the doorway to vertical and horizontal zone is disappearing, and not a minute too soon. Good riddance."
Well, let's be fair. Sonic didn't have a good time the first time we met him either.
Yeah, fair enough. He
did get his ass kicked by them pretty much.
I am kind of sharing Sonic's sentiment, so I don't really mind.
Do you think we'll see them again for Harv? I don't know, but maybe.
I have a feeling they will. This is the Sonic comic we're talking about.
You never know.
We just don't know.
I had to point out one thing about the art that kept throwing me off was that Sonic just kept growing like a fourth spike. A very tiny fourth spike.
Yeah, he's got the little tiny nub on his hair sometimes.
I'm just like, comb your hair, Sonic. Your hair's sticking up, bro.
Sonic, you're unruly.
I get it, you're on a cool adventure with Tails, but Tails has his hair nice and proper.
Groom yourself, Sonic. You never know who you're gonna run into.
So I do have another thing to say about the second story in this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a me thing, because of course I would think this. I saw the opening of everyone doing the skydiving, and I'm like, oh, the Power Rangers movie.
Huh?
Yeah, the Power Rangers movie, doesn't it start with skydiving for some reason?
It starts with them skydiving. No point to the plot or anything. They just skydive at the start of the movie.
Oh, well, I kind of think, okay, I could see that. Yeah, there you go. I think there's a little bit of a point to the skydiving. Here we go. I think it's supposed to symbolize Sally's yearning for freedom and being away from all the problems of governance. That's it. I'm gonna stop being like critical because this is a really stupid.
I think that is like the one takeaway.
Yeah, I think it's just a reference to the Power Rangers movie.
I think it's a reference to the Power Rangers movie too. Don't listen to me, guys. I like how Sally takes the knife out. One of y'all posted that earlier yesterday. I thought that was the first. Okay, to give people a listening context, we all like we were getting ready for today because today's the day we were recording, and the first image, the shot that fired through like all of Europe, that was heard through Europe, was just Sally whipping out a knife, click, and it's zoom into that on her hand. So I
didn't get a picture of it because I'm lazy, but the knife's handle changes colors in between panels.
It also changes shape.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very magical knife.
Next time Jeffrey the Skunk shows up, she'll be ready.
She's got a weapon.
Well, no, she threw it. Remember, it didn't show her picking it back up. It's gone.
Damn, it's okay. She got an ammo pickup. She replenished her supply.
Yeah, she did eat. She got ammo.
I do. Okay, I have one last thing to say. the king is a fucking freak. Can we just raise the counter on dads who spy on their kids? And it's the same way as Locke. Him and Locke.
Oh shit! I didn't even piece that together.
Dude, they're sitting in the same club. It's like Sally and the gang returns back to Robotropolis, and she's just talking to her caregiver Rosie, and they're like, you know, they think, oh, something's plot's happening. No, just come have a hot chocolate. And she's like happy and stuff, and then it just pans out to a computer screen, and Jeffrey LaStink and the king are watching a computer screen with just her face on it. I'm like, what is wrong with the fathers in this series? Ken Penders, did your dad spy on you through a computer? What's
How many
going on?
shitty dads that spy on their kids are there? It's those two. Are there more? Or
So far, there's two.
This batch of issues had a lot of like spying through computer monitors.
yeah, it is. It's still pretty fucked up that it happened twice. But I was just wondering.
I was wanting to bring it up now or later because I for somehow this didn't even register in my mind, but it's like, oh shit, this is another instance of it. Like,
Yeah, it looks like you didn't know this, but the ebony hair is actually Renfield's father.
this is
Sorry,
really,
wait.
this is gonna be like a really dumb joke / observation on my part, but it's like with how much like this pops up, like it makes me think of the kind of thing where like if you look at like someone's art and the certain way they draw certain body parts and you're like, are they into something? with that this plot point of like watching people through monitors secretly pops up, so is he into something?
No. Okay, Harv, post the picture.
I gotta find a new version of it. Hold on.
Oh God, I want to believe that he's not into voyeur in the 90s. You know, when we.
I mean, I'm sure like the real answer is just that it's just like a, I don't know, like an easy plot device kind of thing to just use over and over. But it's like, man, he really does use it a lot.
he really do be. I mean, it is. I guess it's like.
Right.
At the time, that's the new thing, right? So it's like, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt that it's just like it's the new toy of that. You know, it's the turn of the century. There we go. Thank you for the writers. Barely
iFunny link included.
iFunny.com. This episode brought to you by iFunny.
And again, this is getting a bit ahead, but like the later example is actually like so completely pointless.
That one is so stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Okay,
it doesn't.
We'll talk about it then. We'll talk about it then. Hold on.
We'll talk about it later.
Well, I'm glad that we both agree that it just is. Okay. Yeah. My logic is that it's just the new toy. So it's like the turn of the century. You know, computers are new, and people are like, look at it. Easy.
Wait a minute.
Spy.
I found a better one. I'm so sorry.
I'm a computer.
Hey kid, I'm a computer.
I'm a computer. Here.
I'm computer grandpa. There we go. Thank you.
What is this show?
Still Star Trek related somehow.
Still Star Trek, yes.
Okay. I think we're good on this one. Sonic 60, yeah, unless anybody has any closing thoughts. 59 was, yeah, it's nothing happens, but it's cute. It's fun.
I guess this last thought I had was just like I didn't like piece together at first that it was skydiving. Like my brain filled in the blanks of like, oh, I'm watching Sally and these other members fall in the sky with parachutes. Like, I guess they're about to do a mission. So I was extra confused when they just like were finding each other and had some dinner, and I was like, what is happening?
It's a flashback. We're fighting Robotnik again.
Yeah, they were doing a mission. They are actually sneaking into that bear badger household secret Robotnik cell. Okay. That was really funny. Sonic 60, written and drawn by whom, Dorko? I think it's a new writer, actually. A new writer.
Oh wait,
and
no.
artist. No?
Wait, 60. This is the other
We had
Kong
this.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had this artist once before. I
Oh,
forget his
Frank
name.
Strom. Yeah, did they write?
Yeah, it's
them?
the same. It's the same deal as last time. Like, it's like he's attached to this character, I guess, or he writes it and he draws it.
Oh, okay, it's a Dragon Ball guy. All right, Frank Strom. Let's hear what he wrote for us.
The search for Ixus continues. Sonic and Tails come across a mountain on fire, which seems to not be setting the rest of the forest or the nearby town on fire. They meet some townspeople and find that they don't want to leave, even though it's been cursed by the Iron King. To put out the fire, the heroes must claim the enchanted fan of Feng Xing, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, which is being guarded by the king. Monkey Kong makes his first appearance since issue 55 and attacks the duo, as he has fallen under control of the Iron King and Queen. Sonic and Monkey start throwing hands, and then the Queen shows up to taunt our heroes and observe. While she's distracted, Tails breaks her staff, which breaks her control over the monkey. The Queen runs away, and the three eventually make their way into the Iron Fortress. While searching a room for the fan, the gang's ambushed by the King. Tails finds the fan, Sonic takes it and fans the King, blowing him away. They return to the mountain to put out the flames. The Queen makes her return only to immediately get blown black. And then we have the actual plot for the Sally thing where the nothing happened last time. Acorn apologizes, air quotes, for the time that he wasn't completely himself during the Robians incident. While Sally doesn't like that her dad uses the name Robians for these Mobians, before the argument escalates, Acorn brings Sally through a hidden passageway to show her the pool containing the source of all. Remember that? Sally is to undergo the rite, however, Acorn brings up blah blah blah, we got a plan for the future. And then as soon as Sally mentions marrying Sonic, Acorn objects to imply that he gets to choose who she marries. Acorn instead intends to get her married with Antoine, and Sally talks back. And now given the unfortunate choice between Sonic and her title as Mobian royalty, she leaves to sleep on it before she can come up with an answer.
The Empire Strikes Back.
I just really want to quickly say, like, the end of the story where he says something like, I'll have to see if my other option's available, and then there's the big text of, next, Jeffrey! I'm like,
I didn't even think about that!
Dramatic Dorko scream, wave.
How did I not see that? That's fucked up.
I'll have to see if my other option is available. I have before I even start thinking about this, I have two images. I have one image. This picture of Tails standing with his arms crossed. Please help me. Please. There is that stupid web comic where the guys are standing side by side with their arms crossed with a smirk. All I can think of is that, but I can't remember what it's from.
If you're gonna show that panel, here's this from the same panel where Sonic, I'm putting my hand on my head because I'm fucking tired, and he's putting it on his eye.
He's putting on his eyeball. Dude, this guy's art is a treasure. Oh, it's like one of those gamers comics from like back in the day. I just can't remember what it is.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Also, I just want to bring this guy's head up. The grandpa tiger dude who tells Sonic about the bet. That face, I don't know what's wrong with me. All I could think of is Gorilla Munch when I saw that face.
that I don't see the connection, but man, it's been so long since I thought about Gorilla Munch.
I don't either, but like I saw it and my first thought in my head was like, damn, this guy's face kind of reminds me of the Gorilla cereal. Anyway, that was a little peek behind my brain. I liked this story, you know. I thought it was fine. It was,
I thought it was alright though.
Yeah. It was
a lot of amusing, like really cheesy lines, and it was fine.
The Queen was a really fun villain. The way she talked and how she like announced her stuff was really good. I liked that. There's a lot of little quips here and there between Khan and Sonic. I do think it's really funny how Sonic is just like, hey buddy, chill, we're pals now. Like, as if he wasn't the one that went absolutely ballistic on Monkey Khan before.
That was then. This is now.
Yeah, so true, so true.
Screw you, Sonic.
Oh man, I'm so excited for the future of some of these.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when I saw these villains, I was like, wait a minute, I think I recognize these two.
Yeah. And the use of them later is so good. Oh my god, it's so funny. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, isn't that? Doesn't? We're gonna have to wait like a long time from now.
Yeah, I know. We're just, oh man. I think it's really funny how Tails just says wait. Yeah, Cowabunga. I thought it said Dowabunga for a second.
Cowabunga.
Oh man. Yeah, it's just a good. I don't know. I thought it's a good comic. Read these 2 issues. They're fun. They're nice. They're the story's cute. I particularly like the 60s. Like, the writing is fun. The lines are pretty humorous. It's just silly. It's just fun. But I think it's not like silly and fun like the Looney Tunes kind of way, but Sonic kind of way. I don't know. The back half story, I gotta say, Manny Gallen draws the king in a really good. I don't know. I like Manny Gallen's art a lot, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. I really enjoy Ken Penders' work on the colors, because it's not something we've credited before, but it's just something I noticed reading this. I really like the color choices that Ken used, because he was the one that did the coloring for the back story. And he was also the writer. But there was just a few like scenes where I thought the king looked really good, and the color choice is really nice for most of the panels, especially like some of the highlights on Sally and stuff. This line killed me. Come with me, I've got something to show you in the closet.
My skeletons.
My sexuality.
Sally, I like to watch you on my TV.
I hope you understand it's for the good of the kingdom. Yeah, he's a shitty person.
I don't know if this is gonna get posted or not, so I'm just gonna throw it there.
Yes! Fucking...
Oh wait, it was the. I was just gonna post that face.
Okay.
Okay, you posted the whole panel, but this face is so. Oh, good.
It's the second most punchable face in the comic.
He sucks so bad.
I love this one observation I saw, which it might have just been on the Thanks Ken Penders blog, but it was just kind of like something like a sarcastic, like, I'm so glad we spent so long and saved this guy.
Yeah. I'm glad that everybody has regrets about the king. Sonic left. He left the series. He's like,
Sonic just got the fuck out of there.
He's like, nah, I'll go fight Ixis, actually. See ya. Everybody else is like, damn it, we have to deal with him. Her like freaking smoking head. I don't get that effect, but it's funny. It's just the contrast of it being like, I'll have a talk with young Dick Hulette then. You'll do no such thing, Daddy. And he's just got this shit-eating grin.
The fact that he's trying to break up the Antoine Bunny ship, he's the worst character.
He is the worst. Well, he doesn't know, but he is the worst for that.
That doesn't matter.
That's true, fair enough.
Unforgivable.
Fuck this guy. Anyway, that's
truly,
it.
Truly the second worst.
He wants Sally to take a dip in the aquatic mines, and Sally's not sure about it yet. Kind of messed up. He's horrible. Yeah, that's it. We hate this guy. We love Antoine. We hate the king. All right, I don't have anything else to say about this.
I'm good.
Let's go and talk about the other thing.
Yeah, okay, now we'll have a little intermission here where we're going to talk about well, there's two stories actually. The back half stories, I enjoyed it, but because of my first time reading it actually ever. But yeah, let's Sonic Super Special number 5, Sonic Kids.
The Sonic kids spend the day roughhousing and eventually come across a cave. Sally decides to make this their future secret headquarters in the event something bad happens. She has to decide to blah, blah, blah. And she establishes the Freedom Fighter Squad then and there. The next story, present time, a bunch of kids ask Sonic, what is it like to be Sonic? Blah, blah, blah. And then he tells a story about the time when he was a kid. He got Tails a pair of shoes as a gift. He traced some dude some ordinary rocks, air quotes, in exchange for some shoes. Also, this cloaked figure is actually Tails' uncle. I'm not sure if they expand on this later in the issue, but maybe this is a guy from a previous issue that I don't remember.
It's Merlin. Was it Merlin? I don't remember.
No, it literally is
Merlin.
a character
Merlin.
from a previous issue that you don't remember, because the same thing happened to me.
Yeah, he's Merlin. He's the guy who gives Knuckles a sword.
Yeah, I forgot all about him when I was reading the rest of the issue, so he's never mentioned again in the summary. Meanwhile, Robotnik, we can't get enough of that guy, plots the demise of the Great Forest and orders his chicken bro Cluck to fire a time-freezing ray. Sonic returns home to find everybody frozen in place. SWAT bots start gathering a bunch of time-frozen people to roboticize. In order to save the day, Sonic pretends to be frozen so that he can Trojan horse his way into Robotnik's lair.
I was frozen today!
And just when the big man thinks everything's going his way, Sonic presses a bunch of buttons to undo the time freeze. And now that the day is saved, he can finally gift a pair of shoes to his friend Tails so that we don't have to look at his feet ever again.
Yeah, we get a lot of feet.
Oh, and then there's another one. I believe this one's actually present time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not kids right now.
Well,
Antoine...
Not present, but like newer time.
Yeah. Antoine, Sally, and Sonic report to Uncle Chuck that there was a combat they apparently did not destroy way back when, and it comes to life. So they explain to him how they dealt with it. Sonic and Antoine get knocked out by it, leaving Sally to fight it by herself by dropping a rock on him. However, according to Antoine, that's not actually how it went. He used his sword to parry its attacks and then take it out. And then Sonic's version of the story is that he broke through the boss capture net and cut his legs off and blew him up. Uncle said enough of that shit, and he gets Nicole to figure out what actually happened, and that all 3 of these stories are true, and they beat the guy with the power of teamwork. And that's the end.
Was it a different... Sorry, Dorko, can you give us the breakdown of who the writers and artists were for this one?
Wait, you mean all the stories, or?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, well, the first one was Mike Gallagher writing with Manny Galan doing the pencils, and then the Sonic Time one was Tom Roston and Carl Bowler's writing. Which I didn't write it down, but I think I remember this writing credit being interesting because it was more specific, like this person did the story, this person did the script.
Yeah, so plot, I think, was Tom, and then the script was Carl, so like the dialogue, which was interesting. Yeah, you're right, that is really interesting.
Yeah, it's fun that they specified that. And then art by Art Mawini. And then the last one, it's funny when I looked at the credits before reading the story, and I was like, oh no, why are there so many artists? But then when I read the story, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, the last one was by Carl Bowler's written, and then artists Nelson Ribeiro and Art Mawini and Sam Maxwell and John Hebert.
Have we seen John Hebert before? He's the guy that does the good Anton faces, right? No, that's not him. He's new, right? I don't think.
My memory's not so great.
I don't know.
I feel like he's new. Okay. I don't have a lot to say about the first couple stories, so if you guys have anything to say, now would be the time. I really don't care.
Okay, I think like the first thing I want to say right off the bat is that like when like just seeing the title and the cover, Sonic Kids, and then if I remember right, even you were like, do we even want to read this? Are we gonna skip this? Like I was expecting something like horrible and shitty, and then I was like, wait, this is fine. What?
I don't know. I always thought it was boring. I even like after reading it, it's fine. It's okay. I just don't have a lot to say about it.
I mean, I get that. Like, admittedly, like the first story it's just kind of nothing to me, except the fact that the art is kind of unfortunate, and
I
Sonic scares
love
me.
Tails' eyebrows, though.
Sonic scares me.
His pupils are too huge.
Oh, and I guess it's. It was just kind of funny how Sonic was just like, not Miles, Tails. He's Tails now, because I said so.
That's right. I've named this. He is my child now.
Okay, Sonic, jeez.
Yeah, Tails' eyebrows are fantastic. I just gotta. I can't emphasize that enough. His eyebrows are fantastic. Whoever drew him was like, this kid, he gets the best eyebrows ever.
Okay, and I guess for context, if people don't know, Tails' actual name is like miles per hour. But
oh yeah,
I guess this story is saying like, oh, Sonic came up with the nickname Tails. Good job, Sonic.
Sonic did everything. How come Sonic has a pink face in one of these?
Oh, I
scenes?
forgot that I was. Maybe you can like help me refresh my memory, but and also yeah, I thought the coloring was weird there. It's like there's so many little things of like, oh, here's the explanation for this, etc., etc. I'm like, okay, whatever. But when like Rotor was going off of like, I've got an idea for a handheld computer called Nicole, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, didn't we already go over the origin of this?
Rotor invents Nicole. We do know the origins of. Wait.
Wasn't that like a weird time travel thing, or am I forgetting?
Something? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. So Rotor does invent Nicole.
Man,
yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah. So Rotor invents Nicole and then sends her back in that, like, remember the Sally Moon stuff? Not the Sally Moon.
Okay, so then the timeline is
Moonlight,
Baby
whatever.
Rotor goes, I've got an idea for this computer called Nicole, and then this computer called Nicole just kind of spawns.
Yeah. Baby Rotor be like, I have an idea for a computer named Nicole. I'll need a cook on it for like 50 years. let me just simmer this bitch.
This is definitely nitpicky, but it's amusing to me.
It's very funny, but yeah, I didn't even notice that, dude. Yeah, okay, so context. I never read Sonic Kids because of the aforementioned reason that Dorko brought up, where you saw the cover, you read the name, and you're like,
yeah, I expected something a bit more cursed. It was really just a bit bland, but it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I was wrong. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
I got a bombshell announcement for you.
All right.
I didn't read this.
It was okay.
Liar.
I didn't read it.
You're braver than I. I will say this: I like the last story actually quite a lot. It's called Total Regenesis, and you know it's because it's hitting on one of those combots which were invented during the Genesis games era. And I like the trio Sonic, Sally, and Antoine in this, and I really like the way that the story was written, where each one has a different interpretation of the events, and the art changes with that, and it's really cool. I would dare to say that this was a really, like, I really enjoyed this one. That the dialogue was pretty good in a lot of places. Antoine doesn't have as horrid an accent to like make it impossible to read, which is good. Seeing him do things is nice. I don't know. I enjoyed this one thoroughly. That's really, I don't really have anything to like be like, oh, look at this is the moment where I was like, oh, this was really bad. It was more like, this was good. I enjoyed it throughout. I don't have any like highlights except for this. Hasta la vista, mista. I'm pretty sure he used that before. I do
want to go back to the second story real quick just for a screenshot, since apparently MG skipped it, so I thought he might want to see this.
Bob, you read it out for us, please.
No. Oh, how I love to freeze the furnace with my ray. Oh, how this really makes my day.
I don't like the way that's phrased.
I want to say, like, even though like the second story was like really, it's like plain, but like I actually like it was actually like some of the most fun I had of this session, just because it was a very basic story with Robotnik. Like, man, I really do miss this guy.
You can't just link that whenever you want.
I just did.
There's a lot of good Anton art. There's a lot of good Sonic art. in the second and the third story. I don't have like a ton of screenshots that I took just because I liked the whole. It was one of those instances where it's like even though I've been like pushing the Sonic kids don't read it. This is the one I just get. Actually, do go if you have like read this one. I mean, I think it's a fun one. That's really like nothing's been bad here so far, I think.
I will say that the last story, like it's a classic like story concept, and it was kind of fun, but maybe it was just me, but I feel like I couldn't quite enjoy it fully just because I feel like the panel direction, the art left me kind of confused at times. Especially the ending with the last art style. I actually do not understand at all what happened there, and I just kind of was like, okay, I guess the story's over now.
Yeah. I will say it's like to me it's like this the plot's interesting, and like Dorgo says, the concept that timeless concept is a very classic one. I also didn't really get the ending, but I liked the art. So to me it's like, oh, pretty lights. It's like okay, I don't really care because the story doesn't matter. I know it. I mean, it sounds ironic coming out of my mouth, but like, it's I don't know. It was more like this doesn't matter. It's not actually tied to any of the plot or whatever, what have you. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna enjoy these pretty pictures. And
I mean, there's definitely like basic joys about it, like just the fact that it's like, oh, it's a little story and you get to see Sonic and Twan and Sally like fight a robot, and it's like we don't get this very often.
No,
like, oh man, Sally gets to do something like an adventure and it's not talking with her shitty dad.
Yeah, fucking finally we have a use for this character. No like what's it called? No succession plot line.
And enjoy these moments while we can.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I guess not.
No.
It was
okay.
It was fine. It was just fine.
Shit, we're really speeding along compared to usual.
Because not a lot of
okay.
We'll take
a lot of time
for
these ones because.
I mean, like,
I love these.
A part of me is thinking like, man, let's speed to the good stuff.
The good stuff.
The quote unquote good stuff.
Listen, okay. Never mind. I'll just wait. I put together, as I did last time, the covers of all three Knuckles comics. This arc had interlocking comic or covers, and I just put that together for y'all. It'll be in the show notes, and for the boys here, take a look at it. I think it's nice. I think it's pretty.
I think they did good with these.
Buy Sonic comics.
Yeah, buy Sonic. I like that in the Knuckles comic. There's just a huge advertisement in the first one. Buy Sonic comics.
I did think it was kind of cute and amusing that like the solution to the problem of we got to put Knuckles on the cover for like the second cover was to put a poster of Knuckles on a wall.
Yeah,
like that's pretty fun actually.
Yeah. I think the first one being like just him faded in the background because he just appears for like two pages or something is really like good.
Hang on, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Okay, so do you guys want to do like? Should Bob just go through the whole summary? Or should we go one at a time? I think this one we can do one at a time.
One at a time because I kind of have some confusion regarding the first one.
Okay, let's do
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's do one at a time.
All right. So the first one, cab driver working his night shift finds Charmy with a friend who is unconscious. Charmy requests an ambulance, and the cab driver has a better idea to just drive him there instead, so he doesn't put him like thousands of dollars in debt. They get to the hospital. The Chaotix show up at the hospital to see what's going on with Charmy, and it turns out his friend didn't make it. So later, the Knuckles constable asks Charmy what happened last night. He and his bud Mello were going back from the Happy Land theme park. Then Mello fell ill and passed out. Constable points out that... What's this guy's name again?
Remington.
All right.
I like Constable Knuckles. Knuckles Constable, I think is what you said.
Remington.
I love the fact that Bob can never remember his name.
Yeah.
So
And also
Remington
the
points
cab driver's
out.
name is Harry. Just for future reference.
Who's Harry?
Harry is the cab driver.
That gets established later, I think. But yeah.
Remington points out a bunch of echidnas suffered a similar case of poisoning. I forget what it was called, some dandelions. And he concludes that there's some food supply that might have been contaminated. Meanwhile, Knuckles' dad is once again watching over his son getting into danger from his dumbass computer room. That's not important. Meanwhile, the Chaotix ride with the cab driver back to the old theme park. Everybody except Julie Sue, Pig Knuckles. Did I get that right, Julie Sue?
Yeah, Julie Sue, you were right. She's there. She's in the cab.
Everybody except her eats some chili dogs and gets food poisoning, because duh. Now, I admitted a whole thing from my summary that there's like the mouse dude that ran the theme park from an earlier issue.
Yeah, Renfield.
Can someone fill me in on why he's poisoning his hot dogs and selling them? Or
yes, I can fill you in if you're ready, unless you're going. Okay, so it's not supposed to be poison. It's just supposed to be. It's a drug. The thing is, it has various effects on people, but if used in like low doses, it would be like an addicting additive. So it's supposed to be a drug.
So I was gonna joke about the rabbit running a meth lab, but apparently that's what actually happened.
That actually happened. Yeah, that's exactly.
There's something that I want to make sure I point out just in case someone didn't notice, but lemon Sundrop Dandelion, the abbreviation LSD.
Yeah. Yo, let's go.
Oh
They made a Knuckles the Echidna comic about LSD.
Yes. This comic rocks so much.
Charmy's friend took LSD and died.
Yes. Oh, there was a death that happened on screen because of a man overdosing on LSD. Okay. To start off, you may confuse my I love yous as sarcasm. I genuinely enjoy this story a lot. I told you, I'm gonna have some dog shit takes. That's one of them.
I don't know anything about the show Breaking Bad, but I feel like I just read a Breaking Bad episode, but it's a Sonic comic by accident.
Oh god, I'm so sorry for that laugh.
Someone needs to remake the story, but they replace the villains with just Walter and like Jesse or something.
Oh my god.
How did I not know LSD abbreviation?
I didn't.
Because I was confused why he's like poisoning the hot dogs, but it's just straight up drugs.
I guess that is pretty weird, isn't it?
Why is he killing people?
Wait, that doesn't even make it better though. Why would you put drugs in your hot dogs and not expect
it's
it
addicting. It's the idea. Okay, they touch on it in the later. I think in the second issue, if not this one, when the rabbit appears. But that's like the whole kind of conflict point between the two of them is that he thinks more drug means more better, more addicting, but it's actually just like it's not. And that's what the rabbit's whole thing is. It's like you put the shit in there in smaller quantities to get people hooked on it and then not die. But yeah, Renfield T Rat is a dumbass. Listen, Harry, I love the beginning. I love the first page. I love the little, like, noir-esque thing where he's, like, talking to himself about, like, I'm a cab driver during the graveyard shift. Hey, it's a living. It's like one of those scenes. I love it. I love, he discovers Charmy, takes him, and he gets wrapped up in this story. And it just goes from there. And the Chaotix are doing things, and there's no Knuckles in sight, which is, for some coming out of my mouth, I'm like, great, fantastic. I love to see the Chaotix doing things. The fact that Charmy's friend died is all right. I get it. I understand me saying these things with that context is a little ridiculous, but whatever. I don't care. I can be cringe. Fuck you guys. I think it's great. I think it was a good story. I'm not embarrassed that this is the shit that drove my little kid brain like off the wall. I was like, this is specifically this arc in my head the whole time. I was thinking about like getting my friends into the Knuckles comic.
Well, I mean, I I guess the first thing I'll say that's, I guess, positive is this is probably the most entertaining Knuckles story we've had so far as part of this Knuckles comic series.
The move to make it about drugs is completely deranged, but I'm also entertained.
You know the best part? The best Knuckles story doesn't have Knuckles in it.
Yes, that's right, 100%. I literally have it written down here. I didn't even do notes. I was reading on my tablet. I wrote with my tablet pen over the page, like, God, why is Knuckles back on screen? Go back. Because the moment that his dad appears, I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. Go back to the action.
And also, before I forget, I had this thought cross my head, like, man, at this point, like when when you're listening to Bob do the summary and he says like, well, Knuckles' dad is watching Knuckles on a monitor. Like, we don't even need to say that anymore.
Yeah, I should have just.
It's a given.
I should have just skipped that because he didn't even do anything.
It's a given that's probably in every Knuckles story. Like, you can just safely assume Knuckles' dad is always watching.
This is also the one where we have the double watching.
Oh, yeah. So
we have Reinfield the rodent looking at a delivery being dropped off.
Oh, that's right.
Meanwhile, Ebony Hair is watching him.
Yeah, this is the monitor, the dual monitor setup here. We got
this is the moment I had that stupid thought I said earlier, where I'm like, what? Why? And it makes no sense in the context of the story and is never explained, because it's like, how? Why does this random gangster character have a camera set up in there?
Yeah, how is he getting footage of Renfield? There's no way. I literally had the same thoughts. I was like, when I read this, I was like, this makes no sense. What the hell? Who is this? Like, okay, Ebony Hair ends up being a pretty good point in the plot for this, but like, why did you set him up like this? Why couldn't you just have him like break in, like, I heard you got a fucking operation in here, I'm in. But no, he's got to be like ominous, looking at him over the monitor. Like, what the hell?
The other thought that like I guess it's confusing me even now is like, well, why did he even write it like this? Like, couldn't he have just made a deal with this rabbit from the beginning? Like, wouldn't that have just solved the issue? And like wait, and then I just realized, like, doesn't that mean he had a different source also for addicting stuff? But wait a minute, they didn't solve that by the end of this issue.
Yeah. So the thing is, apparently he had his own source, but like so the rabbit. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, if they started it with him partnered with the rabbit already, it wouldn't make sense, because the whole conflict point is like, it's like a violent takeover type deal where he doesn't agree with what Renfield is doing because it's killing the consumer base, and also, like, I guess the rabbit's taking over the supplier too of the LSD.
I guess.
I don't know. That's just my.
I feel like this is the kind of thing of like strange Ken Pender's writing that doesn't clearly establish things, and then you just kind of have to fill in the blanks to try and make sense of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I want to just point out that Vector says "come," and not the way you're thinking, but with you, or maybe you are thinking that. He just says "come." How come we never saw?
How did I miss that?
The secret come.
I don't know. It's the secret come.
I didn't say it either because I read these so fast when it's time to do my homework.
I really like this other the scene of them in the taxi. There's just something really funny about it. Very road trip, like, I don't know, like, it was something. It was very entertaining to me.
I do want to say, like, I do genuinely love the exchange of Vector, "Are we there yet?" and Julie Sue going, "I'm going to slug you if you ask that one more time."
And then
Harry, oh geez, nope.
I like what did you just try to say?
I was trying to do a Vector voice. That did not come out right.
That went really high. Are we there yet? Oh yeah,
the classic. Are we there yet?
Yeah. No, I do like that in the third exchange of just Harry being like, "Listen, I want you guys to deck it out, but let me put bets on it first."
And also, I guess to give another positive, like, for for whatever reason, I'm not even entirely sure why, but I also I kind of love Harry the cab driver.
Yes, me too. This is what made this series. Oh yeah, let's go.
Oh shit, is MegaFire winning?
He's winning. Oh, no.
We're winning. I love Harry the cab driver.
Like, no joke, I think he might just be my favorite character from the Knuckles stuff. Like,
oh man. I'm sorry. This was a rare moment of like, just the stars collide.
I'm not really. I mean, I guess it's just like a basic character that I just found entertaining and like, yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of rare for competitors to introduce a character, and my only thoughts are like, I like him.
Yeah. Dope. That's all I got. It's any other thoughts on it?
Okay. I want to make sure we don't skip over. Okay, so the premise is that they're investigating food that may be laced with drugs, so the Chaotix go there, and they're like, "Seems fine to me. Let's eat, boys." And then they all eat the food except Julie Sue. And then they all get hospitalized.
Yeah, Charmy is not fazed at all by the fact that his friend got sick from eating food at this place. And they come over and they're like, all right, it's been half an hour. Nobody's fallen over yet. It's time to chow down.
So this is basically a chaotic story where they all take LSD and get high.
This is such a good story.
And also, there's they drew SBO vomiting into a trash can. I don't know. That just seems important
silly.
to me.
No, wait. There's something even more important. They drew SBO vomiting into a trash can, yes, but then they drew Charmy's fucking trip, which is even better.
Oh, and I gotta find this one screenshot before I forget.
What a strange trip it's gonna be.
Angelica the Echidna jump scare.
No, I was distracted by
Tommy Pickles too.
I was distracted by the balding Knuckles, which I now realize is actually Tommy Pickles, just because he's got like the hair.
The fact that they just drove like Rugrats Echidnas, I'm like, okay.
Don't forget the Power Rangers in space every Friday.
Absolutely, yes. Most important part. We have to save Zordon from this LSD trip.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes, there's a lot of stupid. I will admit, I'm not that far gone that I can't admit that there's, like Dorko said, perfectly worded. You got to fill in a lot in your head. And I sure filled in. I had a great time. And you know what? Fuck. I don't care. I love the Chaotix tripping on acid. That's all I gotta say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's my closing statement, Your Honor.
I guess we can just move on to the next
we're
one.
all just getting started.
Number 14.
If we're already.
Ow!
So we start with a flashback to Charmy, who doesn't want to be a prince. Apparently Charmy is royalty. Yeah. So he's having a nightmare about that in the hospital. Having a bad trip. And then we have a subplot concerning what's his name, rat guy, that's responsible for the drugs, and also the fucking ebony hair. Who I'm still not super clear on what's going on between these people. So the summer doesn't explain it at all. Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Thank you. I lost my place in my summary. Charmy's dream flashback continues to the point where he escapes his responsibilities to make new friends, and that's our origin story of how he got into the Chaotix. Remington and Julie Sue show up at the park and start questioning Renfield the rat, but he apparently doesn't get found out yet. Elsewhere, Knuckles gets into a scrap with the biker gang. I was supposed to skip this because nothing fucking happened. Later that night, Julie Sue makes her way to the criminal base, And when it turns out she's not getting the answer she wanted, Ebony Hair's gang captures her and throws her off a building. And also, I forget if it's this issue or the next. The cab driver man, Harry, he is a dingo. The general dude shows up at some point, but I forget how that exchange goes between him and Harry. And also, I forget if it's this issue or the next.
It's this issue, and he basically just like there's something is brewing, and he basically just like, Harry, once a dingo, always a dingo. You're still a soldier, and you don't have a lot of options. So Harry's kind of like trying to escape his past. He's tired of being a soldier.
Poor guy.
MegaFire, you didn't tell me this was a crossover issue.
Oh, dare I ask, what is it a crossover with? What is it a crossover with?
Oh, it has nothing to do with Sonic. It was the Batman Kraft Macaroni and Cheese crossover.
What? Wait, is there
There's an ad
in
for
the
that,
comic that you read with the...
Yeah. I was not expecting a Batman the Animated Series jump scare.
Oh, you're right. It was... Okay, I read a different one without the...
Page 9.
That's the
Batman.
The Cape Crusader meets the Big Cheese. I'll preface this by saying I don't really care about the Charmy Prince subplot.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we were going to fight on this.
No, we're not going to fight on it. It's dumb. I think it's stupid. I think if he just ran away from his parents from home, that would have been good enough. But he's a king, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It really is like why is this like an
their excuse plot.
Did this series need more royalty?
It's their excuse plot for when he leaves the Chaotix, whatever reason they wanted to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if to say it now, but yeah, like apparently from what I've read, aside from appearances here and there, Charmy's been essentially written out for a few years. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Yeah. This is his hurrah story. I
like the part where the two gangster guys had their big muscles just fight each other.
Yeah. Yeah, Renfield summons his giant rat muscle man who loses in one punch.
I like how he summons a guy who seems to be much stronger than the big bull man, but he just loses.
I kind of love the design of Big Muscle Rat. So it's like, oh man, that's it.
Yeah, Big Muscle Rat with piercings on his ears is very good. To clarify what's going on, basically between Renfield and Ebony Hair, basically Ebony Hair threatens his way into trying to partner with Renfield on his stuff. But what he's saying is that he's putting too much LSD in the hot dogs, which is what I was saying earlier. And that's their point of conflict, is what he says is it's potent, but we want to keep putting it in to addict the customers. And Renfield is an idiot, and he doesn't care. And he's just like, I'm going to have more in it so people pay more to eat more of it. And then he gets his shit kicked in, and basically Ebony Hair takes over control of the business from that point on. Because he's got one bodyguard, and Renfield has none. You do the math. I genuinely don't care about the Knuckles subplots in this at all. I think I actually forgot about this somehow.
I mean, that's somehow. Of course you forgot about it.
Well, yeah, but it's me we're talking about. I'm a freak.
I mean, you could summarize the whole Knuckles part by being like, oh no, I think Knuckles might be getting too strong.
Yeah, actually, that's literally what it is. I like the nurse and the doctor characters in this, especially when Mighty wakes up from his LSD trip and he's just like lifting the bed with the nurse on top of it. And then Vector wakes up and he's just like, I'm hungry. And he just yawns, his whole mouth is open. She's like, oh, this guy's going to bite me next. Harvek, thoughts so far on this?
Yeah.
I'm still reeling from the fact that I did not realize that this was about drugs. So I was like, why is he poisoning his own hot dogs? This is a kid show where drugs don't exist.
Don't forget to tune in to Life with Louie weekdays on Fox Kids.
We can't keep doing this. I genuinely, I didn't realize it was LSD until my last read, not this read through, but like my last one, which happened before we started this podcast.
Sonic the Hedgehog always tackles those deep political issues.
Like LSD in your hot dogs. And where have all the cookies gone?
I don't have much else to say about 14, though. It was just the meat of what I had to say was pretty much in 13.
And what would you do if you fell into an alternate dimension ruled by some weirdos named Cal and Al, who are also now killer robots?
That's right.
I mean, I'll say I had the most notes about the first issue and not so much the other two. But
I got a couple things to say about the third one when we get there.
Yeah, the banger issue was really the first one, and some stuff from the third. But I'm ready to go for the third if you guys are.
Okay. For a page, we're treated to Charmy surgery. And then...
Welcome to Sonic and Knuckles the Echidna issue 15. We open on Charmy's blood splashing out onto the doctor.
It's purple. But that's over pretty quick. He died. Julie uses a grappling hook to swing her way into the building to safety. She meets up with the constable there, and the two escape into the cab. Harry's cab. Charmy seems to be recovering from a surgery in the hospital. Julie Sue and Remington break into Ebony Hare's chemical plant. They accidentally alert the gang to their presence, and Rabbit Man pulls out his gun. And then he started blasting. And just when he gets bad, SBO shows up. The rest of the Chaotix show up to confront the gangsters and get everybody under arrest. Then back at Happy Land, the poison sauce is confiscated, and the rat promises to not be an accessory to this anymore. Just ketchup and mustard from now on. And then Charmy's finally back on his feet out of the hospital. He's greeted by his family. He pays his respects to his friend and returns to his kingdom to take up his responsibility as prince that he's been running away from. The end.
Yeah, they have a dead ass funeral. They have the friend in the coffin that they wheel out and put him in the ground in a Sonic the Hedgehog.
When they killed him off, I thought they were gonna do some bullshit in the back of my head, like, oh, we brought him. He's alive actually, but no, they really did kill this dude off.
No, he's just dead for real.
For real.
I really like this doctor scene in the beginning, especially with the doctor remaining calm and he's bad jokes and shit, and then he's like, okay, now please excuse me while I calmly go throw up.
This is a great page to link to people out of context. Just watch three knuckles.
Make them guess what character this is.
Which one is? Yeah,
is that one Knuckles? Of course not. What do you mean?
He has hair, you idiot.
Honestly, I was not expecting that much blood to show up in a Sonic comic.
Yeah.
It's oil. It's motor oil.
Charmy's a robot? Oh my god.
Yo.
Man, it kind of hit me this issue, like some of these different Echidna characters. It's kind of like when sometimes in Looney Tunes when Bugs Bunny would just put on an outfit disguise. Like that's when I look at some of these Echidna doctors, I just think like it's kind of like if Knuckles just put on a doctor outfit to trick someone. Like
that's why he keeps appearing on the cover. He's actually still here.
So
behind the scenes, Knuckles the Echidna plays every Echidna.
he's a real versatile actor.
I have another really good scene to talk about, which is during during the chase scene from when Julie Sue like jumps off the building. She's like trying to navigate away from them, and she like grapples into a couple's like apartment building into their bedroom, and I just the framing I did of the screenshot. Oh, Bimmy, there's a stranger in our bed. No, there's not. I mean, that's essentially all she says. That she leaves the apartment. Oh, man.
She basically just pulled the no.
So good. I like that scene.
I have really only two things to talk about in this comic. First, I did like Mighty just manhandling the fucking bodyguard like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Remington like fights him for like a few panels and just doesn't have any headway. Then Mighty just appears and just decks the dude.
I had to step in to hype up Dorko's boy.
Mighty good, yeah.
And I do like how when the Chaotix go back to Charmy's kingdom, they just stole a shuttle from the Enterprise.
I knew it. I knew he linked it before, and he's like, "I'll remember this." And the only reason I know about it is because of him. I don't even know. Like, I looked at this first time, like, I don't know what this is. And then you know, he Harvek used his words, his wiles, and I was like, oh, I understand. This is a Star Trek thing, isn't it?
I'll be honest, it's a little different. The design is a little different, but that's clearly a huge reference to Star Trek, at least.
Yeah, can you post the image again of the comic spaceship?
Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll back up through. Oh God, I forgot I posted that.
Wait, I got it.
I got you, fam.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so what is this exactly?
It's at least based on a Star Trek shuttle.
What's the shuttle name?
I couldn't tell you.
We got him, boys.
If I were to guess, it's at least partially based on the Type 6 shuttle.
Fucking hell. What happened to the Type 1 through 5?
But it's got, like, elements of the... like I said, it's not exact. But, you know...
I mean, it's not a stretch, because...
It's not a stretch, either, because, I mean, they put the fucking Riddler brain device in a couple issues back.
I forget. I feel like there's probably been Star Trek things before, but I don't know. I can't remember at this point.
Not a lot, honestly. I think I would have pointed out more. I know there's been a lot of Star Wars stuff. I'm sure there has been. In the comics, tell me how much of a hypocrite I am or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I believe you. I'm like nodding along like he knows what he's talking
I trust
about,
you.
I'm sure. Did anybody notice Mallow's head, Mallow from Super Mario RPG? Sorry, I've been playing that some of my.
I missed him. He was in this.
Yeah, he died.
No.
Did anybody notice his head in the sky? Because I
saw
I
that.
always
See that?
Oh my god.
You're gonna carry that weight.
I'll never forget you, Mello. I'm going to forget him.
Watch this character just show back up like 90 issues later.
I'm back from the dead, Charmy. I was only
LSD isn't that bad, actually.
And you know what? Don't forget, watch Life with Louie weekdays on Fox Kids.
Shut the. Remember to catch the Knights mini special.
We're gonna read that?
No, we're not.
Okay, good.
I gotta say, I thought I was kind of surprised to see that. Like, oh, that's kind of neat. There's a part of me that's kind of interested to see how they write a Knights comic. But
We could touch on the Knights comic.
But also
Knights-
we have like 10 billion Sonic comics to read, so
Knights takes LSD. It doesn't end well.
This is why they're in the LSD comic.
I mean, I guess I would explain a couple things about Knights.
In the night. One other thing. I love Ebony Hare's freaking double barrel revolver. It's very good.
I was
Also,
gonna
these
say
lines are good.
Shotgun revolver.
I was gonna say that's a just a real revolver, but you're right. It is freaking double barreled.
Yeah.
It's an absolute. It looks like something the Joker would have on him. Honestly.
It's very I like the lines that he says in this, but the gun is so silly. Whenever I see it, I'm like, why is there two barrels? That's not how it works.
Well, you can't just give him a real ass revolver. That'd get like the parents. They'd get mad.
Yeah, very true. If fake revolver, not biblically accurate revolver.
Yeah, this is a non-canon revolver.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's funny that in the span of 3 comics, we had a guy pull a gun out on people like twice.
It just keeps happening,
Or
dude.
thrice, actually. There's even a scene where Harry pulls a gun out on SBO. SBO got.
It just got.
He just got.
Also, there's every single Star Trek shuttle for a reference.
Yeah, I can see it.
Ignore that last row. They weren't out yet.
I'll do you better. I'll ignore all the rows.
Thank you, Dorco. Always there to support my interests. And now I've prepared an essay to talk about Power Rangers in space.
No,
So one thing that I'm sure I don't quite like about this story is that I suppose it's not that bad in the grand scheme of things, but this is yet another story where the Chaotix are taken out of commission, and we're just kind of left with Echidnas doing the work. I'm still not a fan. So we have we have the Chaotix being dumbasses and taking themselves out, which was pretty funny, admittedly. And then we have to wait till the end for them to do a few panels of action, and then Charmy is written out. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Bye, I guess.
To be fair though, they had.
So what do we have to look forward to as me, a reader? Like, maybe next time there'll be a couple more panels, then maybe another Chaotix will be written out. Oh boy.
Go to the next issue. As leader of the Chaotix, I have to say we're disbanding.
We all have to return to our home planet.
But look, it's Tom the Echidna,
The new member of the Chaotix.
the new leader of the Chaotix, the all Echidna team.
The Echidnotics.
This slowly get replaced with like a Knuckles variant.
I like, I didn't realize that, but I mean, they had an issue and a half, I guess, and then they knocked themselves out halfway through issue 2. So,
Vector, wait, I have to ask, why are you disbanding us? We're not needed anymore. I finally found it, the computer room.
he enters Locke's lair. Dude, this is why he's looking for the computer room. He needs to punch Knuckles' dad out.
Okay, now if that is how the last Knuckles issue ends, that would be beautiful.
Oh man, I need to know if there's no way that the computer room truly was inspired by these comics, but I'm gonna make my asinine connection that that's what it was.
Based Vector punches out abusive dad.
That's right.
You have to be more specific with this comic.
Yeah, which one?
All of them.
Oh, Vector, thank you.
Vector, destroyer of
One
dads.
for you. One for you.
Oh, just like play like the sound effects of his combo from Sonic Heroes.
Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I have like a lot of Sonic Heroes like sound effects in my head at all times, especially hoopa for some reason.
In case
When
you,
he
dear reader,
making...
and dear listener at home, in case you can't tell, all of us do enjoy the presence of the Chaotix.
We love the Chaotix in this house. Are you kidding me? We love them. We grasp at straws for them, like I did.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess like I'm still like kind of not fully satisfied, a little bit disappointed, but like I guess this probably is one of the better showings of the Chaotix, but again, that's not really saying much.
Don't listen. Let love into your heart. Just
I mean, I'll admit I still had I don't know. I cannot call this story good, but I had fun reading it.
So it's good. Got it. All right. It's a wrap, fellas. See y'all next week.
Like, I feel like I have maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like this LSD story and Charmy's friend dying and Charmy being operated. I feel like this shouldn't be a Sonic comic. A good thing. That's why it's a Knuckles comic. No, like, this is very ill-fitting. But
No,
I
it's
mean,
great.
I guess yeah, but it's also really funny that it exists. I guess. I mean, this is one of the few Knuckles stories like I knew about in advance because sometimes people will talk about that weird shit that happens in the Sonic comics. So the story where Charmy's friend dies of LSD, like when I realized that was in this session, I got really excited.
I can't wait until we get the next Charmy story.
I don't know what that means.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah, but LSD, good. We love the character.
We love LSD.
We love LSD. I don't think we can say that. Hold on. LSD stands for lemon Sundrops, not dandelion. I mean, not whatever you think it is.
Lemon Sundrop Dandelion.
Lemon Sundrop Dandelion, yeah. We love dandelions. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I had a good time. This is great. The brevity at which we went through this was pretty phenomenal too.
I think it was because
I didn't have any like rants.
In part, it was because the
Anyways.
first three things were as empty as they were. Not in a bad way. It was just really simple stories that we should plow through. I guess we were excited to get to the Knuckles part. I don't know.
There also might be a connection that the Knuckles story barely had Knuckles, and by extension, it barely had Locke. Therefore, there was very little for us to rant on for like an hour.
That's so true. The equation has been cracked.
I can connect the dots.
Bob, overall thoughts on everything?
59, 60 kids. Those three were all right. Those were all right. The Knuckles thing was ultimately not great. Now the LSD.
Oh,
no, hear me out. The LSD thing was like so unhinged that it's like the ultimate like so bad it's good kind of thing that's happened to us so far. Harry was all right. I did like that guy. But the Chaotix could have been handled a little better. They could have been less stupid. At least they got like to fight the guys at the end. And but then there was the Charmy thing, which is not. It was really like, who cares? I didn't really care about the Charmy royalty thing. Maybe not just because it was just taking a backseat to the absolutely insane LSD noir plotline. So
I forgot that I just remembered like the fact that like the first part of the story like ended with kind of a cliffhanger, like, oh, we're gonna go on a crazy LSD trip, get ready, and then it was just a fucking exposition flashback of, oh, Charmy was a prince. And like, man, I feel like this did not deliver on the promise.
I mean, okay, I will say one quick thing about that trip. I did like that Charmy was having like a mental breakdown like throughout that.
That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard you say.
I mean, okay, listen, if you have that page open, you can see there's like red text like throughout his like memory trip, where it's like he's just like super negative and God damn it. It's just a bunch of like, you're not good enough, run away, you pathetic, like it's just shit like that, and it's just like, oh, that's fucking raw. Which I forgot to bring that up because I never noticed that until like I didn't really notice that like completely, but it's like sideways on the panel and diagonal. If I had it open, I would link the page, but that unhinged like little thing was pretty funny. Yeah, I like it when Charmy loses his mind.
Then you really are gonna love something that happens way later.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was alluding to. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
The next Charmy story.
Wait, is that really the?
I mean, I think it's the only other time we get focus on Charmy. They don't like Charmy in this series.
Well, I mean, I guess I can't blame them too much, but I don't know.
Harv, thoughts? Closing thoughts? Or Dork, are you done? I don't want to.
Oh, I just remembered like another thing I remembered was just I don't know. It's kind of amusing that one part where the Chaotix approach the cab and Harry points a gun at him.
Yeah, I like that. Where he points a gun at.
I think I've pretty much said everything, so I guess that's that.
Harv, MG, got any thoughts?
Check out Power Rangers in space.
Fuck you.
No, it was all right. It was okay.
It wasn't all right. See, it's the funny part. It was still like, it was just like an all right reading session. It's just that in a weird way, it also led to like the most insane session of this that we did.
Well, I mean, I feel like objectively, it's the most insane thing that's happened so
LSD.
far.
Shit, man.
Between the LSD and also Charmy got operated on.
And also his friend died from overdose. They carried his coffin. The Chaotix, there is photo proof of the Chaotix with their hands on a coffin in Sonic the Hedgehog official material.
It's just difficult to wrap up my closing thoughts because, like, yeah, all that insane shit happens, but my thoughts on this session was like, yeah, it's all right. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, like, I don't blame you. Like, I still feel like the story is, it has like still typical problems with Ken Pender's writing and whatnot. Like, because like I feel like some of the few saving graces for me are just like the crazy shit that happens that's funny. The Chaotix being stupid, that one which was funny, and then also me surprisingly liking this plain cab driver character.
Man,
but like I still feel like as usual, it's like I feel like there's some basic like writing things that are missing. Like, this could have been better. Like,
yeah. Damn, I wish it was better. I love this plot, but the LSD trip is so good. Yeah. All right. Well, good. All right. Cool. Well, next session. Because I think we're pretty much done here. We've got a pretty decent spread, I think. By decent, I mean it's gonna be packed. I think we have No, sorry, I made a mistake. No, we just have regular comics. No more specials for a bit. We're probably gonna tackle Sonic 61 through 63, Knuckles 16 through 18, and then maybe the next 4 Sonic comics after that, because it's kind of it's a 3-parter, and then 4 in a row. But I'll double check and make sure. If not, we may squeeze 3, and then leave the 1 for next time. If number 67 is not tied to the remainder plots, I think it may not be. I think it's a setup for 68, but I'll double check that. But yeah, expect those around those issues for next time. Okay,
I guess that's it.
I think that's everything. Bye, guys.
I guess we're still really late from that, but yeah, that's all I had to say about it. So bye, I guess.
Sorry, guys. We just chowed down on some LSD-laced hot dogs.
Sonic says, "Don't take LSD. That's no good."